Hey, good afternoon. All right. All right. So, what an incredible day that we have had so far between the sensory farm and witnessing the talented performance by the pyramid players, as well as learning about the vast array of resources and supports and information that's available in the many workshops that are available from the exhibitors. I hope this environment fills your cup as much as it does mine. And thank you also for those that are joining, I'm told, on Facebook as well. For those of you that I may not have had the opportunity to meet quite yet, my name is Taylor Hatch, and I have the absolute honor of serving as the director for the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, or APD for short. And we have the important charge of serving a very sacred population of Floridians, and those are individuals with disabilities and their families. During our time together, you will hear a little bit more about our agency. We will highlight investments and moments throughout the year, and we will learn how we can continue to work together to amplify and take action on the momentum. So let's start with some background. For those a little less familiar with our agency and our network of supports, APD serves more than 61,000 Floridians. We offer a variety of social, therapeutic, behavioral, and medical services to support individuals and their families based on their individual need. These services can translate to supports like respite, to help with a brief planned absence of the caregiver. They could translate to employment services to help individuals find and maintain a job. They can translate to in-home services like personal supports and help to provide help to individuals with activities of daily living, and supported living services to help individuals live independently. Specialized therapies and behavioral services, as well as adaptive equipment and supplies designed to meet individual needs. So as you're picking up, a vast array of services. The most traditional and recognized pathway that unlocks these services is through a home and community-based waiver. It's called the iBudget waiver. Individuals seeking assistance through this pathway can apply with APD for eligibility, and they are enrolled onto the iBudget waiver based on their individual circumstance. To learn much more about the iBudget waiver, I would invite you to attend one of our workshops. We have a workshop, it's called Eligibility for APD Waiver Services, and it is tomorrow at 11 in room Celebration 1. And Lorena Fulcher, our Assistant Director of Operations and Programs, and Liesl Ramos, our Chief of Rapid Response and Support, will be the presenters there. So ladies, if you could stand up and wave so everyone can see who you are. I'm a little partial, but they are fantastic. So a little plug, go check them out. It's going to be a great presentation. So this traditional pathway and foundation forged by many leaders here and before us has allowed us to develop and build building blocks and build those blocks together to create greater access and offering to meet varying needs and goals of the individuals that we serve today and then also tomorrow. Last year, I stood on this stage and I shared about the power of partnership. Today, I want to share with you the tremendous strides that we have made together to strengthen our foundation and to create multiple pathways to provide resources and supports so that we can truly serve and we can help fulfill everyone's God-given potential. As we traveled the state last summer, visiting with partners, engaging with clients, analyzing data, and gathering feedback from stakeholders, there was one common thread throughout. And regardless of the issue or complexity, we all at our root were focused on one thing, and it was empowering people to thrive. And throughout that common thread, there were three emerging themes that we heard the most. One, increase opportunities to serve individuals and their families at the earliest moment possible. We know the information, the connection points, and the services vary based on level of care, based on needs and goals, as well as differing stages of life. And therefore, multiple pathways need to be developed to best meet the need. Number two, provide seamless service delivery and navigation amongst commonly utilized resources. Government should not be the hardest thing you do that day. And the retelling of your story over and over is time-consuming and it is defeating. Number three, increase opportunities to remove or defer the point in time in which a family is experiencing a crisis by increasing supports of employment, of education and support of caregivers. The top 3 goals that clients share consistently lead back to goals relating to skills for independence, employment opportunities, as well as community integration. So, with this in mind, as we celebrate these transformational moments and dive deeper into the impact of each investment, I want to say how very grateful I am to the leadership of Governor DeSantis and First Lady Casey DeSantis, as well as the partnership that we have with the Florida legislature. They have lifted up the very best among us, not only through talk, but by action. However, these transformational moments are a direct result of the ideas of the feedback that came directly from the people that we serve and their families, as well as providers and stakeholders, partners that are directly providing services and supports within local communities, many of whom are here today in this room. It's your consistent and your tireless advocacy that has created a drumbeat, along with the alignment of the governor as well as the legislative partners that have produced record-breaking results, directly translating to greater access and supports for so many across our great state. So let's start highlighting some of those. I'd like to start by sharing a story about a young man from Franklin County. His name is Preston. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office contacted APD in search of services and supports for Preston, who was in need of stable housing. Preston is 24 years old. He has a diagnosis of autism and ADHD. Preston radiates positivity as well as hard work. And when our Hope Navigator, Kanisha, reached out to Preston, they quickly went to work. Preston had clear vision regarding his immediate needs, but he also had future goals that were fueled by his passion and his desire to make his family proud. As a result, Preston now lives in a great apartment. He has 2 roommates. His apartment was also furnished by a local church, answering the call and providing everything that he needed. Preston is now able to focus on his goals of going back to school and obtaining consistent employment. This is just one example of how the launch of the Hope Florida program at APD is able to both activate quickly as well as assist Floridians across our state achieve their goals. To hear more about the Hope Florida program, please check out our workshop taking place tomorrow at 4:30 in room Celebration 2, and that is led by Zandra Odom. Zandra, if you'd please stand up and wave as well. Zandra is our APD program administrator of Hope Florida, and let me tell you, she's electric. So you are missing out if you don't go attend her presentation. All right, so moving on. Thanks to the transformational vision and steadfast dedication of the First Lady to assist all Floridians in all walks of life to see past their current circumstance and imagine a better tomorrow, the Hope Florida program is connecting the needs of those seeking assistance with community and faith-based partners within their own backyard. The core tenets of this program are now a part of the fabric of APD and have been embedded within Florida statute. We are also so thankful for her vision and her leadership, and we're thankful that this pathway now serves as a tool for us to be a sought-after resource for those in need of assistance at the earliest moment possible. Another milestone to highlight from this past legislative session is the historic funding that our agency received to offer enrollment to more individuals than ever before by creating greater access to a wide variety of supports and services, again, at the earliest moment possible. This includes more than $2.2 billion to provide services and supports through APD's I-budget waiver to enroll additional individuals experiencing crisis, as well as individuals in specific pre-enrollment categories, which includes categories 1 through 5, and lowering the caregiver age in category 4 from 70 down to 60 years of age. This funding also supports individuals in category 6 who have siblings in categories 3, 4, or 5. You don't need to remember any of that. You should go to those webinars and the presentations that we mentioned earlier, and the team will help. To support this work, we also saw over $195 million in tremendous support for an across-the-board rate increase for providers that deliver services to individuals on the I-budget waiver. We're so grateful for our provider network, and we could not do what we do without them. We appreciate their hard work and their dedication. Additionally, APD is working with our partners at the Agency for Healthcare Administration to implement a new pathway, which is a pilot program in specific areas of the state that would offer similar services that the iBudget waiver does to additional individuals through a managed care model. We are so excited to share the investments for the development of also a new pathway, which will also be a home and community-based waiver. And it aims to close gaps and preserve high school graduation for the exciting time that it should be for all Floridians that are transitioning into adulthood by providing the necessary supports and services to meet varying levels of need. Not only does our data support this need, but so does our feedback from our clients, from our families, from advocacy groups, and stakeholders around the state, like direct feedback from a newer partner named Sally Hazlett, who's with the North Florida School of Special Education in Jacksonville. In short, the agency received funding to hire subject matter experts to help with the creation and the development of this new pathway, the Adult Pathways Waiver. Again, focusing on assisting individuals with a developmental disability through a specific array of services as they transition to adulthood. In addition to these pathways, APD also received $6.5 million to continue to expand our efforts to serve individuals with a developmental disability and a co-occurrence of a mental health diagnosis through a dual diagnosis pilot program. This funding, in partnership with the Department of Children and Families, allows for additional investments within the existing mobile response team framework. And training also is provided through this pilot program to Orange, Broward, Leon, and Hillsborough counties. We had planned to host a breakout session about this topic specifically, but unfortunately one of our team members was not able to make it due to the bad weather in South Florida. So I would like to spend just a few moments talking about this project in particular because of its amazing impact. As you may be aware, the mobile response teams provide emergency services to individuals who are experiencing a mental health crisis, and they provide those services through the mobile response team 24/7, 7 days a week. They provide on-site behavioral health crisis services in a setting where the crisis is occurring. So that could be a family home, that could be an APD group home, that could be the park, it could be a shopping mall, a grocery store, or any other setting. And this funding will add behavioral analysts to the team, which will be experienced professionals who also have expertise working with individuals who have a developmental disability, as well as provide critical training and education for our network of waiver support coordinators, as well as direct service professionals. This pilot offers a unique opportunity to have two worlds join together to address an individual's mental health needs in a manner that is effective given their developmental disability. Again, we have so many incredible milestones to highlight and to reiterate the power of partnership. We would not be here today without the feedback and the contributions to those that have laid the foundation before us. Moving on to our next theme, which is streamlining and providing seamless supports. In the words of APD client George W., he says, "Extra money feels very good, and I feel blessed. With this help, I'm going to get new boots and a cowboy hat to go with it." And what I love about George's words is they are referring to an opportunity that we had, which is the establishment and the ability to make permanent an increase in the personal needs allowance. And this is essential funding, as many of you already know, that promotes community living and involvement. It's keeping critical funding in the pockets of Floridians with developmental disabilities through streamlining and reducing bureaucracy. As of August 2023, eligible individuals are provided a monthly benefit of $164.52 a month, compared to the federal rate of $30. This required no new action on the part of eligible clients to receive this increase. There are additional investments that are on the horizon relating to this effort to streamline and provide seamless supports that have been underway during this past year. Many of you have been around the table to help inform those moments, and we're going to talk about them in just a little bit. However, our final theme to spotlight as we celebrate these moments might just be my favorite, because it's all about the goals of the people that we serve and making sure that we do everything possible to make those goals a reality. I could ask each of you in the room to go around and share your goals, and they would certainly be different because everyone's goals are. But I'd be willing to bet that we would find some commonality. And through our data and through hearing the stories from our care navigators and our hope navigators all across the state, visiting with each of you, that's exactly what we have experienced. Our top 3 goals that our clients maintain pretty steadily are 3 things. Number 1, community involvement. Number 2, goals around developing skills for greater independence. And number 3, employment opportunities. And what is so exciting to me about these goals is that they are building blocks for one another, and they are also intertwined at every turn. In other words, we know that a goal of community involvement, like a meaningful day activity or volunteer opportunities, can lead to goals of employment. And for today's purposes, I'd like to focus a little bit more on the goals relating to employment. What we hear again from the people that we serve is the need for a robust offering of employment opportunities across multiple industries to better align with personal interests and strengths. For example, working in the finance industry or in healthcare may not be everyone's bliss, but working with animals, like in the case of some amazing Floridians that we're going to highlight in just a moment, is. That's why we are excited for the transfer of the Unique Abilities Partner Program to APD, which will focus on connecting our talent pipeline of job seekers with employers across our state who are looking for their next team member to round out their team in multiple job sectors and industries. We also heard from providers like Family Initiative, who is also here today, about some of the considerations employers have when onboarding an employee with a disability. And thanks to the leadership of Governor DeSantis, the state of Florida will be reducing corporate income taxes for businesses employing individuals with disabilities. Beginning January 1st, 2024, employers may seek a tax credit of up to $1,000 per individual, per employee hired, up to $10,000 per business. You should expect to hear a whole lot more about that employment program as well as the tax credit in just a few months. For this next part, I'm going to turn it over to our Deputy Director of APD, Catherine Whitehurst, to showcase an amazing partnership and outstanding Floridians who inspire many through their testimonies and through their goal achievement. Catherine, come on down.
Thank you, Director Hatch. And thank you guys all for being here today. So first, I'd like to highlight Shane Walters. Shane, if you want to come on up. Shane is a project search intern with Zoo Tampa. Shane has traveled the world visiting many elephant sanctuaries and loves working with animals. He has worked as a caretaker for animals in several sanctuaries around Tampa and even volunteered for several months in an animal refuge in Thailand. Shane absolutely loves elephants and is thrilled to be interning with Project Search through McDonald Training Center at the zoo where he can see elephants every day. Shane is currently interning in the guest engagement department where he is learning and researching information about the animals and then setting up displays in front of encounters and sharing the information with zoo guests. I had the opportunity to visit the zoo and can tell you what an incredible atmosphere and environment it is, not only for the guests and the visitors, but for employees and animals as well. So I'll take a moment and recognize Shane. All right, Haley, do you want to come on down? Haley is also a project search intern with Zoo Tampa. Haley is a very talented artist, loves fashion, and is a great communicator. With an outgoing personality, Haley is a great fit for welcoming guests to the zoo. She currently interns in guest services where she scans guest tickets and provides customer service to zoo members and non-members who are entering the zoo. Awesome. Thank you, Shane and Haley, both for everything that you do. We'd like to also welcome up now Chelsea McNally, who's the Director of Brand Management from Zoo Tampa, and Taryn Kidd, who's the Senior Director of Employment Services from McDonald Training Center, to share a few words about Shane and Haley and their partnership and what it means to each of your organizations.
Hello, my name is Taryn Kidd, and I work for McDonald Training Center in Tampa. Thank you so much for having me today. I just want to share a little bit about Project Search. 3 years ago, MTC, McDonald Training Center, was one of only 4 providers in the state of Florida fortunate to be a part of a grant-funded program sponsored by RESPECT, the Florida Developmental Disabilities Council, Florida Department of Education, and Voc Rehab to bring together Project Search for adult learners. Today, MTC is one of 2 providers to continue the program after the grant had concluded. MTC truly believes in the model of Project Search. We have seen the success and prosperity of the program, and it is absolutely amazing. And we are so excited to have our 2 interns, Shane and Haley, in our cohort this year for year number 3. Location of the program matters tremendously, and MTC is very grateful that Zoo Tampa has partnered with us. Being at the zoo every day is an amazing place to be. It's not easy, though, because it gets very hot. But other than that, it's very exciting. And all of the interns have the opportunity to participate in 3 different rotations around the zoo. We call them their internships. They're 10 weeks long, and they range from guest services, guest engagement, hospitality, all over the zoo. It's like a giant training ground, and it's amazing. Our interns at the zoo attend the program Monday through Friday. It's an unpaid 9-month commitment. It's an internship. And they start in the classroom with very rigorous instruction conducted by one of our MTC employment coaches. And after the 9 months of going through the curriculum, our interns do receive they earn 1 college credit hour through the University of Whitewater. Staffing is a key. The model relies heavily on the personality, resilience, and dedication of employment coaches. Patience and a sense of humor also helps, especially around the orangutans. The goal for each program participant is competitive integrated employment after the program is complete. And so far, the program's been very successful. The zoo has employed 5 total interns. Our first year, the zoo hired 3 interns, and then we had a 70% success rate for employment. And then last year, the zoo hired 2 of our interns, but we had a 100% employment rate. The other 4 interns were able to find employment at Busch Gardens, the Florida Aquarium, Publix, and Michael's. And this year, of course, with Shane and Haley, our goal is 100% employment rate. We're committed to continuing the Project Search program, and the model is beyond comparison. It's been developed by university-level instructors. And the results that we have seen at the zoo just shows how well this program has far-reached positive effects on attitudes about hiring people with disabilities. So now I'm delighted to introduce you Zoo Tampa's Director of Brand Management, Chelsea McNally, who will share her perspective on how the benefits of this partnership affects the zoo. Thank you.
Thank you, Taryn. At Zoo Tampa, we're committed to providing an atmosphere that is welcome and inclusive to all people. And we're extremely proud to be a part of this program, Project Search, through our collaboration with the McDonald Training Center. These interns are inundated with the everyday operations of Zoo Tampa. This could include making our zoo beautiful through our park quality team, or ensuring our guests are well-fed, hydrated, and taken care of through our food and beverage team, or preparing the meals and the food that we serve to over 1,000 animals in our care every day through our nutrition center, or engaging and educating our guests through our guest engagement team, just to name a few. The individuals in this program become a vital part of the Zoo Tampa team. In the 3 years of the zoo's involvement with Project Search, we've hired 5 of the interns who are now part of Team ZT. One of those employees is Marielle Casper, who is now part of our guest engagement team. Through the program, she was able to gain confidence as well as the public engagement and communication skills needed daily in her role at Zoo Tampa today. When you visit, you'll see Marielle out talking with guests, engaging and educating them, guests of all ages, about our animals and the importance of conservation. Everyone who engages with Marielle has a smile on their face, and she is extremely excited to work with guests and collaborate with her fellow guest engagement team and all of Zoo Tampa team members. On a personal note, I am extremely grateful for programs like Project Search. I am the parent of a child with special needs. And it fills me with so much joy and pride to know that these programs exist, that I know my child will be set up for success in the future, and that people are looking out for her throughout the state of Florida. Thank you.
Shane, Haley, I'm sorry I messed up.
Thank you so much for your words, and we appreciate your partnership and innovation to provide diverse employment opportunities for all Floridians. Next, we would like to recognize Michael Cochran. Michael is an employee at Smoky Bones Restaurant in Orlando. He is a dynamic and passionate individual who has been persistent in finding employment. Michael worked hard to secure successful employment at Smoky Bones Restaurant in Orlando, and he absolutely loves his job, the people that he works with, and what he does. He is thriving and shares that he trains other employees now and that his job is adding more hours to his schedule. Michael is committed to his job, and it shows through his boss's glowing feedback about him. Michael's manager, Gail, speaks very highly of him, and I think may be on the way here or trying to come to be here to recognize Michael. Michael's vibrant personality is the thing that makes him shine the most, because everywhere he goes, he compliments strangers and encourages people to try out Smoky Bones, and he is an incredible salesman for Smoky Bones. I also just want to say thank you so much to Michael's family and community for being an exemplary support system for him. Your unwavering support and guidance have been instrumental in shaping his path toward independence and success. We're so happy to celebrate Michael. All right, and next we would like to celebrate Robert Galbraith. I don't know if Robert wants to come on stage. We're so excited that he's here today. He is a security guard in the local community and enjoys being around people and has an electric personality. He is currently employed at the Coalition for the Homeless in Central Florida and also picks up other opportunities to support others when he can. Robert is extremely skilled at his job and is professional at all times. He is relied upon by his employers for his ability to remain calm under pressure. A constant for Robert is his desire for employment and opportunities for greater independence. Help us recognize Robert. Thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to celebrate each of you. Your achievements and leadership make you an inspiration to others, including myself, across the state of Florida. Please join me in giving these exemplary Floridians another round of applause. All right, turn it back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Catherine. So as we look to the year ahead, I know I'm a woman of faith, and I know that God has put together the perfect alignment and has laid the groundwork for all of us to work in partnership to accelerate and act on this incredible momentum that we've spoken about already. To align with feedback provided, this will take the form of initiatives and programs that will market the resources that we have available, provide additional access to the right supports at the right time, reimagine processes, and close gaps. To share a few examples of what this translates to, the First Lady, she is dynamic, and she often says things, and she's said this time and time again, it just continues to stick with me. And that is, you can have the best thing in the world, but if no one knows about it, what good is it? And so we have been working with clients, we've been working with parents and advocacy groups like the Florida Developmental Disabilities Council, who is also here today. Saw Valerie, yeah. as well as specific family care council members. Seen a few members as well in the crowd today. And we've been working with school personnel and with providers and many others to have honest conversations regarding not only the avenues in which information is provided, but also what, when, and how information is provided. These feedback sessions have led our team to being hard at work, not just to add a new logo or change colors on a website, but to redesign and reimagine what information is needed and when for individuals to be able to make the best decisions for themselves as well as their families. This also takes the form of many roundtables and outreach that we have conducted around the state to gather feedback to influence the process, as well as information gathered and provided when someone applies for services at the agency. Specifically, does the information that we capture make sense for today? Are there areas in which we can reduce friction for the end user and create capacity for the APD team to focus on the highest value interaction, which is absolutely directly interfacing with the people that we serve? This also translates to continuing to invest in our dynamic provider network, streamlining and enhancing areas such as recruitment and onboarding, ongoing support, and accountability. Additionally, we spoke a lot about pathways today, and we will continue to focus on taking the necessary steps to develop these identified pathways and research other areas in which additional supports and paths are needed. As human beings, we typically need one thing, and that's hope. And hope comes from having someone in your corner to provide encouragement, to provide connections and empowerment, and options to meet varying needs. It means having someone to support, to navigate systems that sometimes don't make a whole lot of sense, and it means having someone to help provide the oxygen that you need to keep your internal flame burning. We know that we need to work together as we build and enhance pathways like the iBudget and new pathways for development like the waiver that I mentioned earlier, the focused on transition to adulthood. We also know that we need your help to identify additional gaps that may need attention and areas of redundancy to reduce friction. Again, a lot of what I have shared has come from so many of you in the room, but we know there is always more that can be done. So keep the feedback coming, keep the ideas flowing, and know that APD is committed to serve with purpose and with intentionality. We will play offense, and we will show up to play center ring each and every day. And in the words of Chris Nickick, we will challenge ourselves to be 1% better every single day. Thank you for your time. We would love to meet and visit with you further. We have an APD team members that are here today. Team, thank you so much for every single thing that you do. Thank you for your passion, for your dedication, and how you show up. Every single initiative that we talked about, you guys are implementing that. Thank you. And with that, if you don't mind standing up so everyone can see who you are. These team members we're all gonna hang back, and they're gonna be here to the side, just as you saw. I would invite you, if you have questions, if you'd like to share your story, please feel free to come over and engage with some of these team members. We'd love to hear more. We also want to give a shameless plug to our booth, and it is at 607 and 706. If now is not the right time, come by and visit us at the booth. We would love, again, to hear your story, meet, and visit further. Thank you so much for taking the time to come to this session and to learn more about APD and the services that we have to offer, as well as what is on the horizon. We hope you have a wonderful time while you are here at Family Cafe. Lori, thank you so much. Thank you.